Well, hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name's Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your mindset from where you are right now to being unstoppable. And today I want to talk to you about weekend supremacy. Here at the day of recording this in Melbourne, Australia, it's Saturday, and I love the weekends. And most people love their weekends, but I'm wondering if you know what I'm talking about. I love my weekends for a different reason. Most people love the weekend because it's a chance for them to do nothing, sleep in, watch more TV, do those types of things. Whereas what I really enjoy is I've identified 7 key things that I really love about my weekends. Now, before I tell you what those 7 are, I just wanted to give you some context for this. So I share my 2 daughters with their mum, and we've got a really fantastic relationship. There's still a lot of love between us, but after, well, you know how relationships just don't work sometimes. So we've been apart for 7 years now, but we still live in the same suburb. She lives... It's about 900 steps away from me, so it's about 750 metres, something like that, just around the corner from me. So it's really nice and handy for the kids. I actually have the kids a little bit more. It's about 53% of the time that I have them. And we've got weird days and timing and everything. I won't go through that, but every second weekend we share them. And so the weekend, which is this weekend, that I don't have the kids, that's when I become super focused. Because the weekends when I do have them, I work up until about lunchtime on a Saturday, and even though I'm recording podcasts and doing some other little bits early in the morning before they get up on the days that I've got them, I'm trying to spend most of my time with them and connecting and so forth. So this weekend I don't have them. So on a Saturday I have quite a busy schedule in the morning. I see clients from 6 a.m. Right now through till about midday, and it's a pretty full-on day. They're pretty much back to back. I had a little gap this morning because one of my clients, her mum was very sick, and she couldn't attend. But usually it's pretty much back to back, and by the time I finish that, I find that I need a bit of a break. So from 6 till it's 11:30. That's a pretty long stint for me, and out in the cold and focusing and coaching and all that kind of stuff. I find I need a little bit of a break. So then what I do is I use that time to maybe do a few domestic chores before then really settling into some work. So the 7 things that I believe these weekends are really great for, so that you don't just let life pass you by. This is an opportunity for you to, number 1, catch up. So catch up on some of those business things that you have been wanting to do. Some of those particular tasks. So maybe there's some admin tasks, maybe there's some planning tasks, something like that, where you've just been caught up through the week. Well, this is a time where you can catch up on those things. Now, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're a business entrepreneur, there's a whole power of things that I'm sure that you could relate to, that on the weekend you could use a few hours or something to just catch up with what it is that you're behind in. So like last night, for instance, I was up till about 9 p.m. working. This is being up from 4:30 in the morning, and I was still working away at 9 o'clock last night, and I was supporting one of my Olympic gold medalist friends. She's just launched, because the Tokyo Olympics was supposed to start, last night was the opening ceremony, and today it was supposed to be the first day of Olympic competition, if it wasn't for coronavirus. And she's put together this show, and every day they're going to be interviewing two Olympians. So I was watching that, and while I was watching that on YouTube, just on the computer, I was going through and tidying up email. I'm processing some unprocessed invoices and stuff, and I managed to clear out my inbox. And normally that would just sit there and it would just, keep accumulating a bit. And I thought, no, do you know what? Here's a good time right now. I'm going to clear that out. So that was before the weekend, but the weekend is a great opportunity for doing those things that you just need to catch up on. Number 2 is about getting ahead. A fantastic time to help you get ahead with something on your business plan. So like what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a social media strategy, and I'm going through and planning the different aspects of the content, Monday through Sunday, what I'm going to be posting, what my team is going to be posting for me, providing the different information, the logons, all that kind of stuff, putting it all in one document so that I can hand that over to, my team, so that they can then take care of this for me. Now, this is one of the big things that I was looking forward to if we were locked down again. Now, we're currently in lockdown again. And I said, I'm going to make this lockdown time super, super productive for me. I'm going to do the things that I didn't get a chance to do in the first lockdown. But my focus was slightly different then. I was focusing on just different aspects of the business. Now, I thought, I want to systemize this. And so that's what I've been working on the last few days. So that's just one example of what I'm using the weekend to get ahead. So Saturday's, like I say, it's a big day for me. And because I'm working up till 11:30, so right now, the time of recording this, it's after 5 p.m. I'm still working, but I try and have a break by about 6 o'clock. And then I'll kind of shut down for the night because I get up a bit earlier tomorrow. It's a sleep in, but I get up earlier than most people would. And then I work all day because I won't have the kids with me. I need to get a break in there somewhere because then Monday comes around and I need to be recharged and ready for that. So it's a great opportunity to use the time that you've got over the weekend to just get stuff done. I mean, think about how many weekends there are a year. There's 52. That's 104 days that you've got an opportunity to take your life further in whichever area that you want to. But you've got this time. The trouble is that most people just fritter it away and don't do anything productive with it. And I have to tell you that I was one of those people for probably 15 years. And it's not like I was sitting down and doing nothing, but I would be, say, out in the garden. I used to own an acreage and I was spending a lot of time in my garden. I was doing other things that weren't growing me in the way that I should have been growing, which would have taken me further than I am right now. But we live and learn. So that's number 2. Number 3, move your business forward. Well, that's kind of 2 and 3, but I use it as an opportunity to catch up on the weekend, to get ahead on the weekend. And I was mainly talking about business just then, but it could be anything anything that you want in your life. Moving your business forward, like I just said, it's business planning. It could be doing some reporting. It could be what I used to do was use the weekends to write my book, write the chapters in my book. Those things that I didn't normally do during the week or didn't have the time to do during the week, that's when I would use the time to get ahead. Number 4 is about moving your life forward. So once again, what could you do here? Well, I like to take some time out on the weekend. It's normally on a Sunday because Saturday's normally pretty hectic. Grab the latest book I'm reading and just progress that. Read some more. Maybe listen to a different type of podcast that's going to help grow me. Maybe I'll watch some empowering material on YouTube or something like that. I'll do something that is going to help shift me from where I am to where it is that I want to be. The point is that we've got time and you'll know where you can channel your energy to move you from where you are, but often we just don't do it. We say, oh yeah, I should do that. And like the next one, number 5, which is about moving your health and fitness forward. How many people say, I'll do it tomorrow. And it gets to the weekend, I'm too tired, I'll do it on Monday. I'll start on Monday. Well, what a great opportunity to do it on Monday. To do it over the weekend. So, for instance, this morning, I mentioned that I start at 6 a.m. with clients, but one of my clients her mum was unwell, so she missed the session, which was going to be a 6:30 a.m. session, actually 7 a.m. So what I decided to do was use that time before the sun came, was as the sun was coming up. I said, you know what, rather than do this later, why don't I do it now? So I got out and I went for a walk, and I recorded my other podcast, which is Rob Evans 365. And it was fantastic. The sun came up. I took a couple of beautiful photos. You can check them out on my Facebook page. And it was just a really great time. There weren't many people out because it was still dark. But I was thinking, wow, how great is it to exercise in the morning? And yet most people, I was walking past their houses and they're all asleep. But here's again another great opportunity to move your health and fitness forward over a weekend. You don't have as many time pressures. I mean, certainly in my area here, no one's playing local sport, so you're not having to take the kids to sporting obligations. You're not playing sport yourself, so you can, because we're not allowed to. So focus on what it is that you can do. Focus on you. Focus on your own health and fitness. Stop making excuses and saying you don't have the time. You make the time on the weekend and make it a priority. Like I mentioned in the podcast just recently about scheduling your time for your exercise. If you make it a priority and you schedule it, it will get done. Number 6 is about moving your relationships forward. Again, how little time really do we spend with our partners and those people that really matter in our life, with our children. And I'm not just talking about being physically around them, because, I mean, how many times have you been somewhere, for instance? We can't do this at the moment, but you go somewhere and the family isn't connecting. I'll never forget, 2 years ago, almost 2 years to the day actually, another couple of weeks, I went to Bali, and it's the first overseas trip I've ever taken by myself. And it was after my dad had passed away and all his estate had settled, and I'd done everything to, my part as a son to help take care of Dad's affairs and everything. And I just needed to get away and have a break, and there was a lot of stress in various aspects of my life at that point, with the relationship that had just ended, and just the pressures of Dad and managing all that. So I had to do the whole thing myself, and it just took its toll on me. And I just hadn't had a break in a few years, so I thought, you know what, I need to get a break. So I went to Bali, and I'll never forget, I was sitting there one night in the resort, and it was beautiful. Like you can imagine, you can just see the sun reflecting. The sun reflecting off the water as the sun is setting, and sitting close to the sand. I was sitting inside the resort, having dinner, waiting for my dinner to come. And I just looked over, and there was a gentleman there with I think there were 3 kids, and like it was just a beautiful setting. The climate was beautiful, and there was music playing. It was just a really lovely atmosphere. And every one of them was on a device. I think the dad was on the phone, the kids were on either phones or iPads. Not one of them were talking. And they did this for about half an hour. And I wasn't just watching them for half an hour, but they were, because they were right near me, you couldn't help but notice how obvious it was that they just weren't connecting with each other. And I thought, man, here you are on potentially the other side of the world somewhere in this a magnificent moment, and you're letting it go. And you see it just locally as well, that people just don't connect. I mean, the TV, for instance, how many relationships just live with the remote in between them? And you sit down on the couch, nobody's really talking to each other, and life just passes you by. This happens with the kids as well. So we need to make sure that we're connecting. So the weekend is a great time to build on those relationships. Now, it's a particularly tough time right now because people are probably spending more time together than they're used to. It seems that as humans, we were programmed in relationships to be made to be in a relationship, but by the same token, it almost seems like we were made to not spend too much time together, because when we do, we don't seem to like it too much. We like to come back home and have somebody there and have a bit of a cuddle and a talk and have that support and everything, but we don't want too much of it because we just want our own space and to do our own thing and do all that kind of stuff. So it certainly becomes challenging for people in these times when they're forced to work from home and be together so much. It can be a real challenge for some people. So I just see that the weekends are a good opportunity to build relationships of all kinds. It could be connecting with friends. Like at the moment, it's challenging because we can't get together. So it might be connecting on a Zoom call, or if a Zoom call's driving you nuts, just connect on the telephone, the old-fashioned way, and have a chat with friends and catch up. And number 7 is a really important one, and it's what I'm about to go and do once I finish recording here, and that's giving back to yourself on the weekend. I give so much of myself to everybody else, including the kids, all days of the week. So of course for me, on a weekend when I don't have the kids, I do need to make sure that I am giving back to myself. And the way that I do that is through exercise. So like this morning, going for that walk for myself in between some clients really helps me focus on other things. It helps me give back to myself. It helps me feel good about what it is that I'm doing in the world. The other thing that I do is I do my strength training exercise. I do my cardio exercise. So tomorrow is my one high intensity exercise session for the week. I'll probably do that in the morning sometime. And I feel really great for that because I know that I'm working towards my health and fitness goals. I know I'm giving back to myself, and it feels amazing. The other thing that I do is I do like to take a little bit of extra time out on the weekend than I would through the week, mainly because I work such long days. I do like to finish, especially on a Saturday, by about 6 p.m, even though I've got to tune in for Kerry's show at 7:30 tonight. But I like to finish by about 6 p.m. so that I can, like tonight I'm going to have a nice hot bath because it's winter here, so it's nice to warm up. Just relax the body, help the muscles recover after the workouts this week, and really just enjoy some relaxing time and have an earlier night than I normally would, and just relax and unwind a bit. So it is a great time for you to be able to give back to yourself as well. And I find that, I get all those 7 things happening, and it gets me really, really excited about the weekends. It gets me very focused, because the last thing that, I am obsessed with keeping on moving my life forward. So I want to make sure that I make the most of every single moment that I have on this planet. I want to make sure that when I do have these weekends, that I don't just fritter them away, because life is short. And if you want to get further ahead in where you are, then that means you've got to do a lot of things. You've got to take a lot of action, because no one else is going to do it for you. You can't outsource most of this stuff. You have to do it yourself. So that's why I get excited about the weekends. I was particularly focused today. Had a good day. I probably could have been a little bit more productive, but I think it comes down to the tiredness. But I was pleased with the outcomes that I did get done. It's been a long day, and so I'm happy to now get to this stage of it where I can talk to you guys, and look forward to just having the rest of the night off to relax and unwind a little and get ready for an early start tomorrow morning. I love doing what I do. I have such passion and excitement each morning, even though it's at 4:30, to jump out of bed and say, wow, I'm ready to get started into this today. And all of that comes from my decision to focus. and focus on what's important to me. So if you want to work with us, then all you need to do is go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, scroll to the bottom, and you can opt in for a free consultation with me. And I would love to connect with you and see what's going on in your life and see how that we can be of assistance to you to help create this unstoppable mindset for you. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.